Hello everyone and welcome back to the French language series. Today we bring about to you a soft skill that you're going to learn in today's class. Soft skill means spoken skill. Today we are going to focus on the most basic spoken skill that you need to learn. Also this comes as a writing question in the junior classes, that is grade 6 to grade 8. A very simple question, that is Présentez-vous, which means present yourself or introduce yourself. Okay, we're going to learn points that have to be included in this speaking skill. Okay, the first one, greet. Just like when we meet somebody, when we meet our relatives, सबसे पहले हम क्या बोलते हैं? Namaste, right? So we are supposed to greet. That is either bonjour, that is good morning, or hello, good day. Salut is hi, and bonsoir is good evening. Right? So the first point is that you're supposed to greet. The second point is give your name. How do you tell your name to somebody? Je m'appelle Purvi, for example. Okay, so you're supposed to give out your name, that is je m'appelle and your name. For example, je m'appelle Rahul, je m'appelle Vinay. That's how. Okay, so je m'appelle and your name. Okay, the third one is tell about your age. J'ai dash onze. J'ai 22 is the. Okay, but you're not supposed to say it. You can say 22. Fine. Now one thing that you need to notice here is in French you never say je suis with age. Je suis nahi aata hai. When we talk in English we say I am 22 years old. But when you talk in French, you say I have. J'ai is the conjugation of avoir. And what do you say? I have. So in French, you're supposed to say I have 22 years instead of I am. Not je suis, but we use j'ai. Okay, is that clear? Let's go about again. The first one, greet. Greet, bonjour, salut, bonsoir, just like we do namaste uncle, namaste auntie. So we're supposed to do bonsoir or bonjour. Okay, the second one is give out your name. Je m'appelle and your name. Je m'appelle Rahul, je m'appelle Vinay, je m'appelle Purvi, whatever. Okay, then the third one, tell your age. J'ai 22 ans or j'ai 20 ans. Okay, you're supposed to tell your age. It is not je suis, but it is j'ai. Okay, not I am, but I have in French. Clear? Let's move on. The fourth one, talk about your job. What do you do? Je travaille comme dash a dash. For example, je travaille comme professor, because I'm a teacher, so I will write I work as a professor at FB4I Classes. Fine. Now, if you are a student, what are you supposed to write? Je suis étudiant. That I am a student. You're supposed to talk about your profession. Because you are a student, so you will write je suis étudiant. I'm a teacher, so I will say that je travaille comme a professor à FB4I Classes, that I work as a professor, as a teacher at FB4I Classes. So the fourth point is that you need to talk about your job. What do? You're a student, you're a teacher, doctor, engineer, homemaker, businessman, etc. Fine? Okay, the next one. Give out information about where you are from and where do you live. Basically, the fifth point talks about where do you live. J'habite à Jaipur. We live in Jaipur, so we are going to write j'habite à Jaipur. I live in Jaipur. Habite is habiter, to live. Okay, so the fifth point talks about I live in Jaipur. Where do you live? Where you are from? Where you're based out of? So talk about that place. It is j'habite à Jaipur. The sixth point, talk about languages that you speak. For example, I speak 5 languages: English, Hindi, Sindhi, French, Gujarati, and a little bit Punjabi, might as well. Okay, so I've written this for myself that talk about the languages you speak में हम क्या लिखेंगे कि हम कितनी languages में बात कर सकते हैं. मैं if I'm writing my introduction, so I'll write about number of languages जो मैं बोल सकती हूँ, like English, Hindi. Some of you might be knowing Marathi, some of you might be knowing Punjabi. So you're supposed to write those languages. Je parle, I speak, 5 languages. Qui sont, that are Anglais, English, Hindi, Sindhi, Gujarati, and français. Français and French. So I know 5 languages. You might be knowing 7. Somebody might be knowing 3 or 4. So you're supposed to write it that ways. I hope this is clear. Let's do a quick revision. 4th point, talk about your job. What do? You are a teacher, student, doctor, engineer, homemaker, businessman, etc. Fine. So talk about your profession, whatever you do. The 5th point talks about where do you live, where are you based out of. For example, I live in Jaipur, so I've written J'habite à Jaipur. Fine. The 6th one, talk about languages you know. For example, I know 5 languages, so I will write that I know 5 languages, and those are qui sont, that are, and then I will write about all the languages. Okay, next. Fine, this is the translation of the previous one. We've already done this. Now the 5th point talks about your family. You are supposed to talk about your family. Je viens d'une famille nucléaire de 15%. I come from a nuclear family of 5 people. Okay, this is just an example. If you come from a joint family, you will write it that way. Just for an example, I'm giving it to you. Fine. Le nom de mon père est. The name of my father is. Mon père is my father. So you're supposed to write your father's name. Fine. Et c'est un homme d'affaires, and he is a businessman. Homme d'affaires का मतलब क्या होता है? Businessman. Le nom de ma mère est. Now my mother's name is. तो यहाँ पे mother's name आएगा. Et elle est femme au foyer. Femme au foyer का मतलब क्या है? Homemaker या housewife. Okay? So पहले क्या बोला? I come from a nuclear family of 5 members. Fine. Then the name of my father is so and so, and he is a businessman. Now if your father is an engineer, doctor, teacher, whatsoever might be his profession, you're supposed to write that. Okay? And the next sentence talks about le nom de ma mère. The name of my mother is so and so, and elle est femme au foyer, and she is a housewife or homemaker. Fine. Le nom de ma sœur. The name of my sister is. Sir क्या होता है? Sister. This is sister. Okay. Et le nom de mon frère, and the name of my brother. And the name of my brother is dash. Okay. Ils sont étudiants. They are students. Both my siblings, my brother and my sister, are students. J'aime beaucoup ma famille. I like my family a lot. I love my family a lot. Okay. Can we do the translation once again very quickly? Let's go. Let's revise. Je viens d'une famille nucléaire de 15 personnes. I come from a nuclear family of 5 members. Le nom de mon père est dash. The name of my father, put in your father's name. Et c'est un homme d'affaires, and he is a businessman. Le nom de ma mère. The name of my mother is dash. Et elle est femme au foyer, and she is a homemaker or a housewife. Le nom de ma sœur est. The name of my sister is dash. Et le nom de mon frère est. The name of my brother is dash. Ils sont étudiants. They are students. J'aime beaucoup ma famille. I love my family a lot. Okay, so this point talks about your family. You're supposed to tell the number of members in your family, your parents' name and what do they do, your siblings' name, what do they do. That's what you're supposed to tell. Okay, fine. The next point talks about your hobbies or interests. What are your hobbies and interests? Most of people these days just keep scrolling their phones, but apart from that also we have different hobbies like reading, dancing, painting, maybe singing. So hobbies, talk about your hobbies and interests. J'aime la danser, I love dancing. J'aime le chanter, I love singing. J'aime le lire, I love reading. Danser is dancing, chanter is singing, and lire is reading. Similarly, you might have different hobbies, painting or maybe coins collections, etc. So you can do that. Okay, the 8th point talks about your interests and hobbies. I have given examples of dancing, singing and reading. Yours could be different and I would love to know what's your hobby. Okay, next, the last point talks about give one message, something meaningful. You need to give a message at the end of your introduction, anything that's meaningful. Though this is optional, but if you do it, this makes your introduction a little more, it gives an impression about you that you're going to give a message at the end of your introduction and it gives a positive impact about you. Okay, fine. So the message that I have written here is Je crois que, I believe that, vous n'avez qu'une vie, alors profitez-en et fêtez de votre mieux dans tout ce que vous faites. Which means, I believe that we've just got one life. So enjoy and do your best in whatever you do. In anything and everything that you do, just give your best. That's what I have given here. You could give any other meaningful message or a quote of your own choice. Okay, so herein we end with the introduction. Let's go back and quickly revise what were our points. Our first point talks about greet. First point ने क्या बोला था? Greet करो. Second point, tell your name. Third point, tell your age. Fourth, talk about your profession. Fifth point talks about your hobbies. Where do you live? So let's say live only. Seventh point talks about your family. Ninth point talks about your message. And the 8th point talks about the languages. The 8th point talks about your languages. The sequence could change, the order of the pointers could change according to your preference, but these are the most prominent points that one should include in their introduction. ये बहुत basic होता है. ये information आप अपने बारे में किसी को भी दे सकते हो. When you meet for the first time also, you can give out this information, right? Where do you live? What's your name? Where do you come from? What do you do? What are your interests? What are your hobbies? This actually provokes the conversation. That's how you build a conversation with somebody, right? If you're sitting in front of somebody, you're meeting them for the first time, you tell them your name, where do you come from, what do you do, what are your interests. That's how you build it, right? So these were the pointers of introduce yourself in French. I hope these were clear to you. I will be waiting to see and read out your introduction that you will be putting down in the comment section of this video. I hope this was clear to you, and I'll be waiting for you all to put in your introduction so that I can know that this was clear to you and you could learn something from here. Alright, thank you so much for watching.